After about a 3-year hiatus, we finally get to drive this icon, but was it worth the wait? Yeah. Let's find out. But before getting behind the wheel of this Japanese icon, let's level set. The Land Cruiser was first introduced to the US market in 1958, and you may not believe it, but it didn't sell well. Only when the 40 series arrived did it gain popularity. Then consumers wanted a bigger vehicle, so the 55 and 60 series Land Cruisers provided that bigger size, up until the old 200 series model, which was a luxury full-sized off-road capable SUV that Toyota decided to stop selling in the States in 2021. But now the Land Cruiser is back for the 2024 model year. Toyota wanted to get back to what the Land Cruiser was really about, so this durable off-roading legend is built on Toyota's TNGA-F global truck platform that's shared with the Tundra, Sequoia, and Tacoma. It's now 1.2 inches shorter and 4.4 inches more narrow than the outgoing 200 series in order to make it more nimble when taken off the beaten path. It has a boxy shape with A-pillars that have been pushed back for a stronger aesthetic and provides better outward visibility, different style headlights depending on the model, and available two-tone paint options. 3 trims will be available: Land Cruiser 1958, Land Cruiser, yes, its name is the name of the trim, and First Edition. Toyota said that a lot of people were asking about Easter eggs with the Land Cruiser, and they responded. It's its own Easter egg, from its side view mirrors that look straight from an FJ to its headlights and its heritage grille, and even just the overall styling. It's pretty much a modern day throwback to the Land Cruiser heritage. Towards the back of the vehicle, Toyota has retained the pop-up glass for easy access, but opened the entire hatch to reveal some decent cargo space. Keep in mind the load floor height is pretty high, but there is some extra storage for smaller items under the cargo floor and a 2400 watt AC inverter on the side. So, fun fact back here, if you didn't know, there's a few hidden gems. Some cup holders and some USB ports, and that's because this is sold as a 3-row SUV in different markets, but we're not gonna get it as a 3-row in the States, just 2-row. And this seat can tumble forward if you were allowing people into the 3rd row, but you can't. Back here, you just get a little bit of storage, and you get to see how tight it would have been in the 3rd row if you did have 3 rows in the Land Cruiser. So thank God they don't, because I did not want to try it. What is worth trying is the driver's seat. Thanks to its boxy dimensions, low belt line, and large windows, the Land Cruiser has an airy and open greenhouse. I'm in the base model 1958 trim of the Land Cruiser lineup, and seating is comfortable. You got these cloth seats which feel very heritage inspired, and they have some good range of motion. I do wish it went back a little bit farther on its rails, but I like manual seat adjustments just because it's quick and right to the point. And the steering wheel column is highly adjustable as well, which is nice, but there is a lot of plastics around. Like on higher trims, you get soft material next to your leg just in case you're sending it a little bit too hard on the off-road trails. But here it's kind of plasticky, and especially over here and down here, yeah, it's a lot of scratchy plastics with the base model, but at least it's comfortable seating and you get a nice elevated view of the road ahead. And yeah, I have no complaints in the front seat besides all the scratchies. As a disclaimer, these are pre-production vehicles, so maybe those hard plastics will be replaced with something a bit softer on a full production model, but we'll just have to wait and see. In the meantime, let's check out those rear seats. Back here, I'm 6'4", if you didn't know, and usually I say that in a lot of my videos because, hey, this might be your first time watching, and if it is, make sure you're subscribed, and thanks for watching. But besides that, I'm 6'4", seated behind my ideal seating position, and I fit just fine. There's plenty of leg room, loads of headroom, and the seats feel great, and there's even a nice bit of recline for a good, comfortable position. But if you are a middle seat occupant, you're gonna be hiked up just a little bit, and you still have some headroom, thankfully, but it's not a lot of space to stretch out, especially because of that transmission tunnel. But yeah, if your tall driver doesn't have his seat raked all the way back, This is really comfortable. I like it. The Land Cruiser's interior has moved into Toyota's modern era. A 7-inch digital gauge cluster and 8-inch infotainment screen with wireless Apple CarPlay and wireless Android Auto come standard, with both screens having available 12.3-inch sizes. There are 6 USB ports around the cabin for your charging needs, and an available cool box that uses the vehicle's HVAC system to pump cold air into the center console to keep closed beverages cool. The interior layout of the Land Cruiser, again, this is the base model 1958 trim. It looks good, it's nice and modern, but it doesn't have a lot of bells and whistles to distract you when you're either off-roading or even when you're just cruising down the highway. The screens look good. This is the standard 8-inch screen and it works just fine. It's nice and clear, and you have your physical switches for your HVAC controls, which, come on, let's face it, everybody loves that. And your mode selector, all of your lockers, and everything is just clearly labeled. And even if you had on gloves, you can still use it because there's plenty of space in between the switches, larger knobs. But the only thing is, there's not a lot of storage in here besides one tray under the HVAC controls and your center compartment. I mean, it would be nice if they had a sunglass holder up here, maybe a tray right here, and some bigger door bins, but I like the interior of the Land Cruiser. It's nice and simple and gets right to the point. And I really like the vents as well. Nice throwback vents. Now that we've covered all the ins and outs of the Land Cruiser, let's get it in its natural element, which is off-road. All Land Cruisers will be powered by Toyota's iForce Max engine, which is a 2.4-liter turbo 4-cylinder hybrid, making 326 horsepower and 465 pound-feet of torque on 91-octane fuel. This is linked up to an 8-speed automatic transmission, and full-time 4-wheel drive is standard. There's also a 2-speed transfer case, center locking differential, and an electronic rear locker that can split the power 50-50 to the rear wheels. So I finally get to take this off-road. Let's see what it's capable of. So right now, going downhill, the brakes feel good. They feel predictable, they aren't spongy at all, and they give you some pretty good feedback when you press down. Shifts are nice and smooth. I'm not getting any jarring motions inside, but so far the powertrain, it's doing its job. In this 4-low setting, you can hear the engine going. It would be nice to hear a good exhaust note, maybe at like 4,000 or 5,000 RPM, but I think this powertrain is powerful, capable, it has gobs of torque, and it gives me a lot of confidence to get over a lot of things, like going down this hill and accelerating up this hill. Yeah, that's plenty of torque to have some fun with this. That's good. This iForce Max powertrain gets an EPA estimated 23 miles per gallon in combined driving, and when properly equipped can tow up to 6,000 pounds. When taken off-road, the Land Cruiser definitely feels more nimble than the size suggests. For added assurance, higher trims with the larger infotainment screen will have the multi-terrain monitor, which shows pitch and road measurements and can help navigate the trail with cameras that face out, view the sides, and even under the Land Cruiser in case you don't carry around a spotter in your back pocket. It would have been nice if that multi-terrain monitor came standard, because my base model tester sure could have used it. So right now I'm in the 1958 trim for the Land Cruiser, and we're about to take this off-road, and I have an instructor named Jeff here. He's gonna put me through a couple simple basics to change the transfer case and get me on my way.
All right, so we're gonna put it in low range. So to do that, we need to put it in neutral, and then that toggle switch all the way back to L4. Perfect, and it's gonna indicate when it engages on the screen right there. For low, it's solid, that means it's in. The next thing we're gonna do is engage the center diff lock. Okay. So that's that button right there. So that means you're in 4-wheel drive, full-time 4-wheel drive now. It's all locked in. And then another feature that's cool for this is the crawl control. Are you familiar with that?
Yeah.
You used it before?
Yeah, so you hit this button and speed is control.
Crawl. Yeah, okay. You wanna give it a shot?
Yeah.
So push that. Put it in drive. There we go. And I'll let it turn on.
Put it in drive, cool.
All right, so now it's showing you you're in its slowest setting right there.
Okay.
If you want to turn it up, you turn that large knob there.
Gotcha.
But the lowest setting works good for here while you're getting used to it.
Okay.
So it'll do all the gas for you. All you need to do is steer and brake. So
Sounds
just
good.
let it go, and I'll be here with you. I'll holler if I see something, but just take it nice and easy and trust the vehicle, and it'll get you through.
All right. Awesome. Sounds good to me.
All right, have fun.
All right. Thanks.
Yep.
And here we go. So right now, yeah, I'm in the
A little bit to the right.
crawl mode.
There you go.
Yeah, he's giving me some good instruction. It's definitely crawling, and I'm not hitting the throttle at all. I'm just concentrating on my steering and my line going over all these rocks. All right, a little hitch, and it's still going. It's giving me the right amount of throttle to get over, and yeah, it pretty much did crawl control for me effortlessly. That's really good. It gives me a lot more assurance that I can trust the vehicle while it's doing its thing. I wonder how it would feel to have just a little bit more of a firm steering feel, but for this light steering, it's making this off-road drive feels pretty good. I'm very comfortable. The suspension did a great job keeping me from getting punished while going over large rocks and dips. There's a double wishbone suspension in front and multi-link rear suspension with coil springs and outboard mounted twin tube shocks. Toyota says the TNGA-F platform provides premium comfort, improved capability, and refined handling off and on road through a more rigid, high-strength boxed frame. I don't know about the on-road part yet because they didn't let me take it, but just know there's 8.7 inches of ground clearance, a 20-foot turning radius, and 32-degree approach, 22-degree departure, and 23-degree breakover angle. For the first time, the Land Cruiser also gets an available front stabilizer bar disconnect labeled Stabby Bar, which can increase flex and articulation at a press of a button. So far, inside the cabin, it sounds decently quiet, and that's really nice. It's comfortable. My visibility is great going outward and over my left shoulder. Over my right, it's fine. There is a rising belt line going out that way, and there's a nice view behind me as well. And if I ever need to, there's parking sensors when I do get it on the road and a lot of safety features. All Land Cruisers will come with Toyota Safety Sense 3.0 standard, which includes lane departure alert with steering assist, lane tracing assist, pre-collision with pedestrian detection, blind spot monitor, rear cross traffic alert, proactive driving assist, and dynamic radar cruise control. That's a lot of safety. So as much as I would love to take this on the road, I gotta settle for this off-road course. But this Land Cruiser has proved that it is beyond capable. And this being the base trim has so much potential. It's pretty much a blank canvas. So I'll give this off-road a thumbs up. But how much does it cost? Pricing for the base Land Cruiser 1958 will start at $57,345, which does reflect the destination charge. And with this, you'll get round LED headlights, LED fog lights, black Toyota Heritage grille, 18-inch dark gray wheels, front skid plate with engine, transmission, and transfer case protection, heated front seats, and tri-zone climate control. If you're looking for more capability, the Land Cruiser, what a fun name, starts at just over $63,000 and comes with rectangular LED headlights, Rigid Industries color selectable LED fog lights, all-terrain tires, roof rails, Softex trimmed heated and ventilated front seats, and the larger 12.3-inch gauge cluster and 12.3-inch infotainment touchscreens. And for the first edition model, which is limited to around 5,000 units here in the US, that will run you just over 76 grand. That's all. If you're debating whether you want a Land Cruiser or a Tacoma, maybe even a Sequoia or 4Runner, I don't know, one of the trucks, go on kbb.com and get a fair purchase price so you can off-road and maybe get some snacks afterwards. kbb.com, click the link above for more details. The Toyota Land Cruiser separates itself from other off-road capable mid-sized SUVs like the Honda Pilot and Passport Trail Sport, Nissan Pathfinder Rock Creek, and the Chevy Traverse Z71 by having a body-on-frame construction, giving it more capability and that truck-like feel that some people actually enjoy. However, the real question is, how is this gonna compete against the new 4Runner that Toyota literally just revealed the day of this video shoot? If you haven't already seen the KBB first look video hosted by our very own Lynn Woodward, go check that out, come back, and let us know what you think. Until then, expect the Land Cruiser to be available sometime in the spring of 2024. And there you have it, a comfortable and capable off-roader that not only keeps you safe with plenty of tech, but it also looks good and it's pretty much a modern day icon. So if that piques your interest, check one out for yourself.